Day 2 of rookie minicamp here from the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. We were outside today. I know we're inside right now filming this at the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. Alan Saunders, you actually weren't even here today, so you came
I am
over
here, but I was not here.
Yeah, you were not here. So for what actually happened here, I'll talk about it and kind of fill you guys in. But I think Alan actually got more important news while he was hanging out in East Liberty with Cam Heyward, who was handing out pizzas with Little Caesars today. Cam Heyward and the Steelers in contract extension talks. He wants to play 3 more seasons. He's 35. I mean, that's ambitious, first of all, but contract talks are new.
Yeah, I talked to Cam today briefly at his community event, and he said he wants to play 3 more years. He also said he hopes it's in Pittsburgh, so it sounds like Cam's kind of determined to play for 3 more seasons, 2 or 3 more seasons, and really hopes that he gets the opportunity for that to be here in Pittsburgh in his hometown. Did say that they've been in contract talks, nothing specific, obviously wouldn't expect that, but that's the first time we've heard that they are talking about a contract extension. Obviously Cam had said before that he wasn't going to take a pay cut. Now, one of the things, like a contract extension can still reduce his salary cap hit in 2024. So if the Steelers are looking for a little bit more money, if they're looking to trade for a wide receiver or a corner, or they want to sign somebody, that could help the team. If Cam Heyward does take an extension, and that could reduce, I think he has a $21 million cap hit, $16 million in salary he's owed this season that could be turned into a signing bonus on a new deal. So something that could help the team if they're looking for more cap space. And obviously, I think, important to hear that from Cam. You remember back to what he said in January at the end of the season after that loss in Buffalo. He said he wasn't sure how he was going to feel if he wanted to continue to play. Now, as he's getting ready for the season, very definitively wants to be here and wants to be here for more than just the 2024 season.
Yeah, I'm going to be real. I don't even know where the money talks start for Cam Heyward.
Yeah,
this is his career. Very odd. Where obviously I don't think he's going to get top of the line money, like a Chris Jones, for example, anymore. But how much is he going to want? I think that's a question, and how much are the Steelers going to be comfortable with? I think there's risk here for the Steelers. I really do. And listen, Cam Heyward's been the consummate captain Steelers, but I think there's risk here because this is a guy coming off an injury-filled season. He could be cooked. Like, we do not know if he is going to return to his dominant self. He was a phenomenal run defender even on one leg. So
yeah,
you think that there's probably stuff there, but I think there's some risk here for the Steelers.
There is, but he also hasn't had like a lot of injuries in his career. He has been a pretty healthy guy. Look, defensive linemen play. Like 38 years old sounds old for a football player, but they're defensive linemen that age out there. I mean, look at Fletcher Cox, look at Calais Campbell. Like there's lots of old guys that are still old guys. I say as I'm 40, but like that.
Yeah, I mean,
they still play at a high level.
Exactly, they do. So I do think there's some. It depends on how much money, obviously, he wants, but 1 or 2 years added to this deal probably would make sense. And also that would clear up money, as we would been talking about for a trade if they wanted to make one, if that kind of came down the pipeline where they could make a significant trade for a wide receiver. They could do that very comfortably now. If that happened, especially if they extended him, they can do that comfortably right now, but they could would be especially comfortable if they extended Cam Heyward.
Do that, and also maybe talk about contract extensions for a guy like Pat Freiermuth, because he's on a rookie deal. A contract extension for Freiermuth might actually increase his cap hit, so they may be able to get those 2 things done. So while I was in East Liberty, why don't you let me know and let them know what I missed while it happening here. Yeah. They were outside today. It started raining just after practice, but what happened in the second day of Steelers rookie minicamp?
Well, interviews in the rain. It was raining while we were interviewing Roman Wilson, right in the rain. No one cared, but that was the big takeaway today, I think, is Roman Wilson. First time we talked to him since he got drafted, and he is playing inside and off the ball outside, so a Z, basically. So not much press stuff. Obviously, he's talked about that he talked about that very intimately today, about how he wants to improve his route pacing and get off press coverage. He's not fully there yet. Found it interesting that he's modeling his game after Puka Nacua. I think people have kind of used the placeholder of what if he can have a great rookie season and they've just thrown out Puka because he was the most recent of those examples. But I think it's interesting because of his blocking. That's really why he's been watching him. He said Nacua, Tyler Lockett. Those were the 2. So that was interesting, I thought. But I think the plan for him is stacks. He can be outside in stacks, but off the ball, they're not going to let him face press. I don't think that's what they're going to do. But he can play outside in some formations. I just think it's when they go 11 personnel and they need someone to line up on the ball. They're not always going to want George to be the X, right? They want to be able to move George around the formation. So, so that's kind of where they're still looking right now. I thought Roman Wilson was kind of the big takeaway today. Ryan Watts was here today too. He was at his graduation yesterday, graduating from the University of Texas. He looks absolutely huge. I mean, you talk about, remember last year when we came in on the first day of rookie minicamp and you saw Trice and Porter. I mean, Watts is as big as both of those guys. He is a big dude, but he was working with the corners today. So that's
been the question, right? Whether he would stick at corner where he played in Texas or maybe move to safety. Didn't run that well in the pre-draft process, and as a big guy, sometimes you see that transition happening.
Yeah, so he was outside with the corners today. And then Beanie Bishop continued to be pretty much slot only. Again, you kind of talk to Beanie, and that's kind of what they talk with him. It seems like those wheels are certainly in motion. Right side only again for Fa'utanu and McCormick. So both of those guys are still kind of working the side they haven't worked, which I think is smart. And so, there wasn't a ton to take from today. I thought, Roman Wilson's comments were probably the biggest storyline football-wise that we got today. Mike Tomlin didn't really talk too much. I thought it was interesting when he was talking about kind of what he was looking for when he's going to try and sign guys. Wasn't much about physical ability. I think they know that from testing and tape and all of that. It's more about, okay, what can you retain? Kind of how do you retain it? If you make a mistake, do you make it twice? What's your level of conditioning? All these things kind of taper together, and what's your mentality? It's getting to know these guys. So it's like an extended pre-draft visit or a senior bowl or whatever. It's kind of what it's like. So when we're talking about 3 guys that are going to get signed probably this weekend, they have 3 open spots. It could be more than that. I mean, they could release, a few people as well, but 3 guys are probably going to get signed this weekend at least. I think that there's a few obvious candidates that I.
What about the pro guys? I wanted to ask about them.
Yeah.
Anthony Averett, who was with the Baltimore Ravens, and Jonathan Ward is running back, has been with a couple teams.
Yeah, Ward today, was fun. Eddie Faulkner said he had old man hands. They were working on a lot of pass pro stuff today, and he knocked Eddie back about 5 yards, and Eddie seems pretty happy about it. Eddie is taking quite a liking to Jonathan Ward. I would not be surprised if Jonathan Ward got signed. They need another running back probably for training camp. I think they have 5 on the roster right now.
4, and then fullback Jack Coletto.
They have Aaron Champlin.
5, yeah, 5.
But usually they take 5 or 6 into camp, so I wouldn't be surprised if he could. He's a great special teamer too. He was when there were special teams periods. He was talking about how he played basically everywhere. They put him back at returner, they put him at wing, they put him at gunner. So he played everywhere. On the return units, so I think he's showing some versatility. I think he's an interesting player to watch. Anthony Averett's interesting. Obviously has some of those connections in the locker room already. Guys like Patrick Queen know Anthony Averett.
Deshaun Elliott in the secondary.
So these guys kind of know him. He's mostly an outside guy, which is interesting.
And not that big, right? He's more like a Dante Jackson size and style corner, but if the Steelers, Jackson's the only one of those they kind of have, right? Like it's all big dudes. Not just Porter, but Trice, Rush, Watts. They're all so that guys. Would be like another sort of smaller, quicker cornerback to go with their avatars that they like.
And the other, other than those guys, I'm interested by Marquez Williams, the Pitt tryout here. Yesterday told us a story that he put a sticky note on Danny Smith's computer in his office that he beat him to the office. I asked him again today, by the way, when he got here today. He got there yesterday at 4:50. Today he got there at 4:30. So Quez is upping his game and trying to kind of make a unique impression. I think it's an interesting way to go about it. When his name's going to be known, and it's all about then what you kind of do on the field and how the retention goes. But it seems like they paid a little extra attention to him today. So it seems to be working a little bit for Marquez Williams. And then the other guy that I think has kind of stood out among tryout guys is the Duquesne guy. DJ Powell. He's 6'3". He's a very big receiver.
I was talking to Smitty yesterday. When you think FCS wide receiver, you think you're getting some skinny little guy who doesn't have the size to play the position. I saw him wearing 21. I thought he looked like Hakeem Butler out there. Like he's just a big dude.
He's massive. He's 6'3", and he's listed at 192, but he looks bigger than 192. He looks strong at the catch point. Catches everything from what I saw today. They did a lot of, they did like mini gauntlet drills today and kind of tested the hand-eye coordination and route running. He kind of gets in and out of his breaks decently well for his size. Caught everything. I mean, it looked solid. Doesn't mean he's getting a contract, of course, but I thought there were some intriguing traits there that I kind of saw. Obviously, they probably saw that on film. I had not watched DJ Powell before coming here, so just thought there were some intriguing things there. But yesterday, far more eventful here. You got the bigger news in Cam today.
Yeah, it was good. Good to talk to Kim, and shout out to Ed Thompson and Carl Ludwig, who helped you out here and made sure we were fully covered.
Yeah, so that's all from rookie minicamp. They technically have one more scheduled day here, but usually it's a team building event of some sort. And then guys will start to get signed, and then it's off to OTAs in 2 weeks. Yep. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on the notification bell on the Steelers Now YouTube channel. Read stuff over at SteelersNow.com. You got more from rookie minicamp and more exclusive news coming, because this guy bit right here is on top right now. But thanks for watching. That's all for now.